Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. General Hospital Wednesday, May 22 recap. Finn stops Liz from taking Violet. Fergus Fern's revenge on Alexis. General Hospital, spoilers recap for Wednesday, May 22, reveals that Hamilton Finn, Michael Easton, broke the news to Violet Finn, Jovial Love, that Grandpa Gregory Chase, Gregory Harrison, passed away in his sleep last night. Violet was in disbelief at first and ran into Gregory's room in hopes that he'd be there, so she cried over the empty bed. Although Violet was upset over not being able to say goodbye, Finn had some reassuring words for her. Later, Elizabeth Baldwin, Rebecca Herbst, showed up after getting updates from Harrison Chase, Josh Swickard, over the phone. Although Liz was there to comfort Violet and Finn, she quickly grew concerned over the open booze bottle and used glass nearby. Once Violet was in her room, Elizabeth said it was obvious that Finn had been drinking. Liz wanted to take Violet home with her so Finn could attend a meeting, but he shut down both ideas. Finn acted like he had a right to do whatever he needed to do to get through this difficult day, but Elizabeth refused to let him get drunk with Violet in the apartment. In the park, Michael Corinthos, Chad Duell, and Jocelyn Jacks, Eden McCoy, pushed Dex Heller, Evan Hofer, not to report Sonny Corinthos, Maurice Venard, to the cops for pregnant Christina Corinthos Davis, Kate Mancy, since she'd have to testify. Afterward, Michael quizzed Jocelyn alone about whether she had reunited with Dex, so she told him no. Jocelyn obviously still had feelings for Dex following their split, but she didn't want to be one of those couples that kept breaking up and getting back together. In plays Aka Allison Rogers, Jacqueline Grace Lopez, Sweet. Christina realized it wasn't right for Sonny to get away with attacking and threatening people just because she still loved him. Once Christina summoned Dex, she said Michael asked him not to press charges because of her and shouldn't have done that. If Dex chose to pursue the justice that he deserved, Christina vowed to testify on his behalf against Sonny. At Dante Falconery's, Dominic Zampravna, place, he ranted about Sonny's history and thought he'd looked the other way for far too long. After Dante refused to do that anymore, he said Sonny had better hope that Dex didn't press charges, since he couldn't make amends to his family behind bars. Sonny declared that his own son had forsaken him, but Dante insisted Sonny had committed a crime and would have to face the consequences of that. At the airport, Brooklyn Quartermain, Amanda Seton, comforted Chase as they heard the final boarding call for their Italy flight, which they obviously didn't get on. Instead, Chase and Brooklyn delivered the sad news about Gregory at the Quartermain mansion, so Lois Cirillo, Rena Sofer, and Ned Quartermain, Wally Kurth, were so sorry to hear it. While Chase and Ned went to look for Tracy Quartermain, Jane Elliott, in the stables, Lois embraced Brooklyn and showed her support. Once Sonny headed home on Wednesday's PH episode, he told Ava Jerome, Maura West, about Christina witnessing his attack on Dex and being afraid of him now. At the hearing in Albany, Alexis Davis, Nancy Lee Gran, took Gregory's debate medal for luck, but Diane Miller, Carolyn Hennessy, didn't think luck was necessary to pull off a victory. After Diane kicked off her appeal of Alexis' disbarment, Fergus Fern, Lane Davies, spoke against the idea of a proven liar like Alexis being allowed to practice law again. Fergus added that he was opposing this appeal since his brother, Neil Byrne, Joe Flanagan, was a casualty of Alexis' complete disregard for the law. Diane objected since Fergus admitted his brother was a factor in this disbarment. Fergus argued that Neil was much more than that since his brother would be alive today if it weren't for Alexis. Once Alexis stood up and addressed the judges on the panel, she said she had no problem with Fergus' role and even welcomed it. Alexis had never had a chance to plead her own case, so she said it was fitting and maybe even necessary for Mr. Byrne to have a front row seat. General Hospital spoilers say Alexis will make a passionate defense of herself, so our predictions point to her law career getting back on track soon enough. General Hospital spoilers, Thursday, May 23, Carly's traitor question for Sonny, Finn throws Liz out. Dex's decision. General Hospital, EHS spoilers for Thursday, May 23, reveal that Hamilton Finn, Michael Easton, will fight back now that Elizabeth Baldwin, Rebecca Herbst, is taking a stand over his drinking. If that's how Finn chooses to self-medicate, Liz can't stop him. However, Elizabeth made it clear that she wouldn't let Finn get drunk with Violet Finn, jovial love, in that apartment. Of course, Finn may snap that it was just one drink and dig his heels in when it comes to Violet staying with him. It turns out Finn will give Liz two choices in Thursday's Geech episode and let her decide which one is preferable. Based on how riled up Finn is, he may argue that Elizabeth can leave on her own, or else he'll have her escorted off the premises. Whatever the case, Liz will pause to make a phone call once she indeed exits the apartment. Elizabeth won't think she's the person Finn and Violet need right now, so she might get Harrison Chase, Josh Swickard, on the phone and give him updates on his brother being in crisis. In Albany, Alexis Davis, Nancy Lee Grahn, will get riled up as well. Fergus Byrne, Lane Davies, insists Neil Byrne, Joe Flanagan, would be alive if it weren't for Alexis, so she'll push him to back up his claims by revealing the name of her accuser. Back in Port Charles, Christina Corinthos Davis, Kate Mancy, will tell Blaze aka Allison Rogers, Jacqueline Grace Lopez, that in her own way, she's just as guilty. Presumably as guilty as Sonny Corinthos, Morris Vennard. Perhaps Christina will feel like she enabled Sonny by turning a blind eye to his aggressive behavior for so long. Now that Christina sees all of Sonny, even the terrible parts, she's willing to testify on Dex Heller's, even Hofer, behalf if he wants to press charges. Nevertheless, Dex may have some lingering concerns about the stress that put on Christina, especially considering she's pregnant. If Dex did anything to contribute to tragic baby news, he'd never forgive himself. Once Dex meets up with Anna Devine, Finola Hughes, she'll take one look at his face and know Sonny must have lost his temper in a big way. Dex will mull over whether he should truly press charges and may wonder if letting Sonny off the hook would tarnish the badge before he ever puts it on. Anna will offer her opinion on that as Dex makes a decision about Sonny's legal consequences. At some point, Carly Spencer, Laura Wright, will bail on a conversation with Anna and head for Sonny's penthouse. It looks like Carly will interrupt Iva Jerome's, Maura West, attempt to console Sonny and dish out some tough love instead. What are you going to do when you run out of traitors? Carly asks Sonny during a confrontation on Thursday's GH preview video. Once Sonny doesn't have any more traitors to blame for his problems, Carly may argue that Sonny will have to look in the mirror and blame himself. Finally, it'll be moving day for Giovanni Giacomo, Giovanni Mazza, who's about to take up residence at the Quartermaine mansion thanks to Monica Quartermaine's, Leslie Charleson, approval. Lois Cirillo, Rena Selfer, should give Gio a warm welcome and hope that this living arrangement works out beautifully. General Hospital spoilers say Gio will make himself at home and look forward to meeting other friendly faces, so stay tuned for more predictions about his future in Port Charles.